they clash. Pieces locked, they mash. Time you cannot dash. Edge and corner find. Patterns in your mind. Joy in each line signed. Race here, you'll not mind. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Late into the night. Pieces fit just right. Heartbeats taking flight. In the morning light. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Glowing joy will show. Will show. Joy will show. Joy will show. Eight hands flying fast. Colors brightly clash. Pieces locked, they mash. Time you cannot dash. Edge and corner find. Patterns in your mind. Joy in each line signed. Erase it, you'll not mind. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Late into the night. Pieces fit just right. Heartbeats taking flight. In the morning light. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzle 8 hands flying fast, colors brightly clash, pieces locked they mash, time you cannot dash. Edge and corner find, patterns in your mind, joy in each line signed, erase it, you'll not mind. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, friends beyond compare, pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, friends beyond compare, pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Late into the night, pieces fit just right, heartbeats taking flight, in the morning light. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow.
All right, good morning, everybody. Glad to see you all here. Can you give me a little wave if you can hear me all right? All right, fantastic. We're really happy to have everybody there. Yes, just going to check Janine's camera. Yes, yep, I can see you. You're doing a different puzzle. Yeah, we had some trouble with Janine's camera recently. It is stalled a bit. It's a bit frozen. Yeah, maybe just check that again. All right, so today we have a pairs competition and the time limit is 2 hours. My co-host today is Catherine. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
Yeah, and behind the scenes we also have Sandra helping out. Hi, Sandra.
Good morning.
Yeah, so the theme for today is training. When the participants signed up on the registration form, we did ask them how does their training schedule look like at the moment. So Sandra, I know you're not specifically a speed puzzler, but you do a lot of puzzles in the week. Would you like to share what your puzzling throughout the week looks like?
Well, I spend about 2 to 5 hours per day puzzling, and then I spend the afternoon editing and fixing photos and reels for Instagram. So I'm pretty much puzzling all day long.
Yeah, and how do you divide it up between like different piece counts?
I do what I feel like for the day. Mostly 500, 1,000 pieces, but I have started doing some bigger pieces as well. I just got a 4,800 piece this weekend. So yeah, I do a lot of piece counts.
Mm. No, that's really great. So you get through quite a lot of pieces throughout the week.
Yeah, I average about 600 to 700 pieces per day. So yeah, I do get some pieces in.
I think that would be the dream for many people to be able to set aside a few hours each day just for puzzling. Yeah. How about you, Catherine? How is your training schedule or puzzling schedule looking like?
It totally depends on what I'm training for. So if I'm going to one of the bigger events like the European Championship, the World Championship, then I'll start training about 2 months before, like intentional training, I would say, where I just go through my 500 piece catalog and do every one and try to improve on my times that I did whenever I did them last time. Now I feel like I'm kind of in between, yeah, a little bit of an off season, like even though I am doing competitions and marathons and things like that. But yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm training right now. So I spend more time working off my pile of 1,000 piece puzzles that I've accumulated.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. So you're going to the European Championship. That's in July. So you're going to start in April to go, or May to go a bit more intense on that.
Yeah, probably. I have the Dutch championship before, which is going to be at the beginning of June or mid to June, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll start training for that about, I would say, probably like a month before. So that will coincide with when I would start to practice for the European Championship as well. So
Yeah, and you also have different brands that you'll be using for the Dutch nationals and for the Europeans.
yeah, so I don't have a lot of truffles, which is what's going to be at the European Championship for individuals and also for pairs. I think only teams has Ravensburgers. So I will just be repeating the few truffle ones that I have over and over again to familiarize myself a bit more with the piece cut, because truffles do tend to have more false fits than Ravensburger have, and yeah, so that'll be another learning curve just to learn another brand a bit more, because yeah, after a while you get so used to doing the Ravensburgers that it's tough to switch to a different brand.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, so they'll be using a lot of so some people have asked as well about if we will be selling trefoils. So basically, our trefoil supply is almost sold out. I have noticed that as people ordered last week or the week before, that people were ordering all the trefoils in preparation for the Europeans. I have done a really big order with trefoil and ordered a lot of the new releases as well, so they will be coming into the shop hopefully in the not too distant future. But yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people will be training with that. All right, well, thanks, Catherine. I'm just going to do the admin check before we get started. Yeah, I hope everyone realized that there was a time change. I didn't even realize it until somebody asked me about it, because these days, if you have digital clocks, like it just happens without, it just basically all the clocks change while you're asleep, and you only notice when you wake up that the oven clock is a bit different. So we have 94 people in the meeting. That sounds about right. We sold 85-ish puzzles, so that looks about right. I'm just going to check the cameras that someone... those who are having technical issues. All right, Janine Luty. Oh, your camera just turned off again. It was working and then it wasn't. Okay, and just try again. And yeah, Janine, if you could just double check your camera again. Just turned off. And somebody else. had to log out. Okay, Lena and Maya, yep, I see you. So you're back in again. All right. Okay, Janine, I see you again. Sorry, we had a couple of issues with Janine's camera in the last two competitions. All right, we are ready to go. So let's start by unwrapping the puzzle and seeing what brand we're working with today. And yeah, also welcome to our viewers on YouTube. Nice to see you, SJ and Marcia. Was there a time change in the UK as well? I'm not sure if it was just Germany or if a lot of European countries.
As far as I know, it's all of Europe. But there might be a few countries where it didn't change. But I assume that hers changed because she says now her car clock is finally correct again.
All right, so yeah, your puzzles are unwrapped and the stickers can be peeled off. Minna Palace, your camera is off. Minna Palace. Is that just the second camera? Minna Palace, please check your camera. All right, let's do a countdown. Oh no, let's just see. A couple of people are just still getting the stickers off. And Maria TB, your camera is also off. Okay, so when you have removed the stickers, Tina, the puzzle pieces should be inside the box. Yeah, put them inside the box. Just remove the stickers just so that the box will come off easily when we do the countdown. Okay, everyone should have their box in the middle of the table. And looks like we are ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. And they're off. So I'm assuming that this is going to be relatively fast. So we're going to have to speed through seeing everyone in the beginning so that we don't miss the first finishers. But maybe first let's have a look at the puzzle.
So this might look familiar to you, Catherine, because we had this at the 10-hour marathon a couple of weeks ago. Were you at the table when we did this?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think about it. I was thinking, like, I remember Anami did the border and the sky, Fuji did the boardwalk, I did the lanterns, and I think Tanya was doing the middle part. But yeah, this is a really lovely image. It's called Chemin des Laternes, or Lantern Path, and it's from the brand Nathan. So it's basically the Ravensburger cut with a slightly glossier finish. We do have some snow here at the bottom, and there's also like snow on the trees, so the trees are all kind of, these ones here are a bit frosty, so a really lovely image. Yeah, a lot of dense twiggy parts here in the middle, but overall a very lovely image.
Yeah, it's very pretty. I was sad I didn't do this one because I was working on the horse and I would have gladly switched with this.
Agnes, your camera is off. Agnes Napa. So I'm going to start at the beginning of the alphabet today. We have Aaron and Sophie. Sorry, just got to find my list. Sorry, every time I'm using my other screen, this random Microsoft ad pops up this window and it just gets in my way. And I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay, here we go. So we have Aaron and Sophie from the UK. Adriana and Johan from Sweden. Marina and Amy from Germany. Andrea and Arena from the USA, and Angela and Ilaria from Italy.
I love it when you guys wave when you hear your name. Yeah, people are busy flipping, and some people I can see are already starting to sort. They're pulling out the pieces for the boardwalk because, yeah, I assume those are probably the ones that you can see the best among all these colorful pieces. And it looks like, at least from the people that are now on screen, that most of them are, if not done flipping, some have already started puzzling. So off to a really good start.
It looks like there's I'm wondering if that's a poster or if that's a puzzle above Angela and Ilaria.
Yeah, it might be a puzzle.
Yeah. So here it is a portrait image. So yeah, that's also something to take into consideration, how you are seated with your pair and in which direction the puzzle is facing. If somebody is doing the puzzle upside down, or if you're both doing it kind of angled upwards. We see that Adriana and her pair are kind of on the L corner of the table, whereas Aaron and Sophie and Amy, Andrea and Irina are all opposite their pairs, also Angela as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a consideration when you're doing pairs, is how do you sit? How do you orientate the puzzle? Are you doing it sideways? Are you doing it, one of them is doing it upside down? It all depends on your preference and what your strengths are as teams. I like the idea of sitting kind of in an L shape, because then I feel like it's easier to move around if you get stuck than if you have to switch sides completely, but it's not always possible to do that.
Yeah, so when I did this puzzle yesterday with my daughter, she said straight away, I'm not doing the trees. So I said, okay, let's split the puzzle in half. And so basically she worked on everything from the water below. So you do have this nice, like, what do you call it? Or a jetty or a wharf going into the water with the fences. You also have lanterns floating in the water, which are quite lovely. And you have like this soft gradient in the water heading up into the sky. So basically we were working side by side, because I don't like working upside down, and just because I'm doing the top half, I needed to do it like facing up. So I did the top half, she was next to me doing the bottom half, and then towards the end we basically combined, and she still had to work on the trees because that was the part that was left over, but at least I'd done the main framework of that, and we just had to fill in the gaps later. So yeah, there's different ways of taking an image like this, and especially one where you could theoretically like split it in half. So on screen, I'm leaving Andrea and Irina a bit longer on there. Yeah, two of the top puzzlers in the US, and they'll be training hard for the US Nationals, which is coming up next week. And we actually have a lot of nationals coming up next week, so I think people are pretty intense with their training, those who are taking it more seriously. We also have Anna, and so we have a few Annas. This one is I think this is Anna from Cyprus. Yes, Anna Archikova and Ivan from Cyprus. Then we have Annika and Mark from Germany. Anthony and Katerina from Germany. Arkadios. And do I have I don't know if I have a registration for Arkadios. Okay, I just see a whole bunch of people just registered in the last 10 minutes. I'll just add that to my list, but I still don't see one for Arkadios, so please do that after the registration. But we know that Arkadios is from Poland. He's participated in lots of competitions before. And we also have Barbara from Austria, and her pair is Magdalena.
And I love the sorting that Arkadius's pair has done here. It looks like they pulled out all of these orangey, like light bits from the middle of the image, and they have made like little piles with all the different elements of the puzzle. It looks really pleasing from this view.
Yeah, it is. You can see that nice, I don't know, it's hard to describe what the color is. It's like whitish, peachy, blush pink, with touches of like a glowing gold in it. So it's yeah, there is an interesting gradient in that lower part of the sky, so between the bridge and the trees. Yeah, so we're seeing some doing the borders, and yeah, we can see with Anthony there's a little section of the sky. So there is one section of bluish sky which is right at the top. There's also a crescent moon in there. And what's quite interesting is there's like, I don't know, you could divide the sky into 4 patches where there is no trees, and they each have a different color. So you have like the more peachy colored one towards the water. The top one is more bluish. On the left hand side of the tree, on the left border, you have almost white. And then there's a gap between the 2 trees on the right, which is also like a light bluish as well. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, so lots of things to pay attention to when you're puzzling and not get confused too much by the leaves. So there's this, I recently learned about this shifting of what you're looking at. Like some people look at the foreground, whatever's on the piece, and other people tend to look more at the background of what's on the piece. So sometimes it's good to shift your focus, and if you're not getting along, or if you're not progressing with looking at one of the things, that you can maybe switch to the other thing. So this is a good tip for everyone who might get stuck with the trees. Someone in the chat says that when they looked at the puzzle on the screen, they were sure that it was a motif of an orange cat.
So I'm just writing the name of the puzzle in the YouTube chat. If anybody wants to have a closer look at the image, they can search for that. So we have 2 people with their cameras off. Bear Lou, don't know who you are, Bear Lou, with a profile picture of an older man wearing sunglasses. And then Catalina Hyman Timmins, your camera is also off. Okay, so we have Berit and Finn from Germany, Bibi and Anna from Denmark, and Chiara and Magdalena from Germany.
Yeah, Berit and Finn have already made quite a good progress and have done this light blue section of the sky. So did Chiara and Magdalena. They also have the edge finished, the border finished almost. I think there's one piece missing. And Bibi and her partner have also this really light corner already done, and they're working on the edge. So far it looks like everybody's kind of going at the same speed, which we often see with puzzles, is that doesn't really make a difference how fast you are that much in the beginning. And it kind of gets the differences between the faster people and the more slower people gets bigger as time progresses. So keep pushing, guys. Everyone is looking good.
Yeah, so just a note, Andrea and Irina, who we had on the screen before, it's actually 1 a.m. their time. So very dedicated to stay up this late to participate. So very happy to have them. And I'm going to keep Chiara and Magdalena a bit longer on the screen. I really like what Chiara has done. She's gone straight for the bluish part of the sky, not only that pocket in the top part with the moon, but also the lower section on the right as well. There's like a gap between 2 trees, and she's filled that out. And yeah, that's a good start to getting that done. All right, so on screen we also have Christina and Nina from Denmark, Claudia and Julia from Germany, Cornelia and Karen from Austria, Danik and Wies from Netherlands, and Dirk and Lisa from Germany.
Yes, and Danik and Wies are doing their best. One of them standing, the other one sitting, working on the path, on the the gateway into the water. And yeah, we see people tending to start with the edge, which is something that I also always do when I work in a pair, because normally when you're doing an individual, you don't necessarily have to start with the edge. I mean, depending on what you want to build on, you could maybe build that section of the edge and then continue from there. But when there's two people, I always think it's a good idea that one of the two is going to dedicate themselves to doing the edge, because that way, once the other person has a piece section done, you can immediately put it in, and you have the frame, you know how big it is. And I think it just goes faster if you do it that way. Even if the edge pieces are very, very like same color. I mean, they have to be done either way. And so if you're two people, you can actually do it. Whereas if you're alone, maybe you would keep the border until last.
Yeah, so there is different sections here. I mean, I really liked it. I mean, it felt so fast when we did it as four people. And then last night I did it with my daughter, and it took a lot longer, and I got really stuck because I was doing the parts that I hadn't done. I was like, oh, okay. So you know, obviously on the team we have people who are really fast at sky and gradients, and they worked on those parts. I did the busy elements, so I did the little lanterns and the trees and the lanterns and the water, and then just little completed parts. They weren't very big, 4 to 6 pieces each, but then I could basically place them where they finished. And yeah, Fruji worked on the boardwalk, Enemy on the sky, Tanya on the gradient, and then once we basically had done everything, all those pieces, we just placed them into the middle, connected them all, and then we were like 4 of us frantically working on the trees, and it just felt like it flew by. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. But it's different. When I was working on the gradient, I was like getting really stuck and like, hang on, what am I doing here? Yeah, so there is a bit tricky because there is these golden glows in the yeah, what do you call it? Like the trees, it kind of looks like the trees are on fire a little bit. They're all glowing, and you have like the mist rising off the water. So yeah, there's like pink on the top and pink on the bottom and yellow in the middle. So I did get quite confused in that part. All right.
Yeah. And it's always good to see like what are the things that I have difficulties with, because those are the things that you should be practicing in your training. And maybe, you know, obviously if you're in a competition and you know that that you're not as good at a certain thing, then you should probably let someone else do it. But if you're training for individuals, you should definitely train the parts that you're weaker at more.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see how I would go on this by myself doing it completely, because of course it's always nice when somebody else is helping to do the hard part, which is the trees.
Yes.
So Ellen, your screen is off, or do you have a second device? It's Ellen and Mandy. Maybe it's under Mandy. Okay, so yeah, leaving Kiara and Magdalena up there. They're doing amazing. You can see that they're closing in, yeah, from both sides, from the top and the bottom. But yeah, a really strong start at 16 minutes. So on screen, we also have Eliska and Eva. So they try to practice 2 times per week. That's very nice. Oh, we have 2 Eliskas. Okay.
Yeah, we have Eliska and Marie.
Oh, Eliska and Marie. Okay, so the Eliska in the bottom left-hand corner is Eliska and Eva. And then we also have Eliska and Marie in the top right. from Czechia. So both pairs are from Czechia. Then we have Emilia and Steffi B from Finland, Emmy and Helmi from Finland, and Mandy and Ellen from the Netherlands. And also Ellen was also there, and Inga, they were in a different team. So they have also done this puzzle, at least a quarter of it. unless they've also taken it home and done it in individual and pairs.
Yeah, SJ is pointing out in the chat, she likes to see the different orders that people are completing this puzzle. And we can see that Eliska on the bottom left, they are starting with the orange parts. And for example, Eliska on the top right, they have started with the path. So this is definitely a puzzle where you can just pick whatever like speaks more to you and then start there. I do, however, think that most people will probably end with the same thing, which will probably be the trees.
Yeah, so Ellen is working hard. So today she's with her other sister, Mandy, but Ellen is doing a lot of training at the moment. She's doing pairs practice once per week and teams practice once per month. On average, she does 5,000 to 6,000 pieces a week in total. She tries to mix hard and easy puzzles and first try, also with repeated efforts, so that the practice remains interesting. Lately, she's done a lot of upside down practice for detailed puzzles as well, with the Dutch Championship coming up.
Yeah, I mean, that explains her level of puzzling. And I think this is something that we sometimes forget as more of the average speed puzzlers, is that people who are very, very good at speed puzzling also put in a lot of time and they practice also a lot, and probably a lot more than what you might think. So always keep that in mind, that practice makes perfect. And I think speed puzzling is a skill just like any other skill, and I'm sure you can improve with time. And yeah, if you don't have as much time to train, you will still improve. It'll be a slower improvement, but you will always improve, and you can always see that when you compare your times from some time ago with your new times with the same puzzle now, which is why I think it's such a great sport to do.
Yeah, and we can see some Ellen and Mandy. You can see that Ellen in the dark shirt, is actually working upside down. So that's also something that you often see if you have someone who's more experienced and you do have a puzzle like this, that they will offer to do the upside down part and let the other person work in the right direction. All right, so I'm going to leave Emilia and Steffi on screen a bit longer. I think they're doing amazing work there. Steffi is working on the bottom half, and yeah, really filling out the path with the water either side of it, while Emilia is working on the sky and the trees. So I've just added some new people to the screen, and we have Evely. Evely is from Estonia, and she's working today with Elisa. And since Elisa travels a lot, we try to train every weekend. We are both in Tallinn. We live quite near to each other, half an hour by foot, so it's easy to get together.
That's nice.
Yeah, and they usually train at Elisa's place because there are no disturbances, so kids, partners, etc. And they like to choose the puzzles beforehand and do multiple puzzles in one session. So Everly says the piece count of puzzles depends on the time we have. Usually we do a 500 one and maybe a 1,000, or sometimes we do 3 times 500 pieces. And training together is always fun. So that's also important when you do training, to have an area that's less distracting, without pets or family members, if possible.
Or a room where you can just close the door and...
So we also have Fatini and Andreas from Cyprus. Galina, I don't know who you are. Galina. Yeah, when you finish, then please write your name in the chat so we can correctly allocate the results for you. We also have Helen from the UK with her partner Paul, and Hi-Fi and Colin from Germany.
And we see some great progress here by Fortani and Andreas. They have really put out that middle section. It's like it's connected to both sides, which is always great to see. Italy and her partner have worked on the path at the bottom, and the other person has worked at the top. Galina's setup makes me a little bit nervous because there's so much going on just with the trays. But they are trotting along, working on the edge. They're also making nice progress. And Helen and her partner, it's a little bit harder to see because of the glare from the window on the table, but it looks like they've also completed, like quite a big section in the sky, I believe.
Okay, so I've just had to jump in. I just got the message from one of our assistants that Victor has 80 pieces left, and Victor and Natalia are going at a hectic pace. They only have the trees left. It's 23 minutes. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so thanks for that hint. All right, I'm going to keep them on the screen. I think I'm just going to jump around to the other fast people that we have, just to make sure that we're not missing anyone. But yeah, good job, Victor and Natalia.
We didn't even have time to ask people what their guess is for a time. So now it's a bit too late to guess. But we see that they're hectically moving up and down and through each other, and so I think they'll probably be finishing very, very soon.
Yeah, so I'm just going to jump to some of the other peoples who have fast. So Kristen is also 20 pieces left. Wow. Okay, so Kristen's ahead of Victor.
Yeah, and I think theirs is probably going to be going even faster because it looks like they have the trees pretty much finished, and they're just working on that middle section that's just above the orangey section there. Yeah, so they're just placing pieces in. They have 5 pieces left.
And Kristen just finished. That was amazing. So we didn't even get there. That's Kristen and her sister Linda at just over 25 minutes.
Wow.
Where's Victor? Okay, and Victor still has just under 20-ish pieces left. That's amazing. I honestly thought we had more time. Okay, let's just check out Inga as well.
Yeah, Victor and Natalia, you can see the way that they are putting the pieces in. It's just they take a piece, they try it. They're like, oh no, it doesn't go there. They try it again, put it down, try it again. So it's this kind of a frantic feeling when you're just about to finish and you just want to finish faster and faster, and then the pieces don't fit, but they will fit, and they're gonna get there. I think also under the 30 minutes.
Yeah, so I did this with my daughter last night. Our time was 49 minutes. 49 minutes. So we also have Olivia, and I think it's Astrid with her, who are doing great. Olivia and Astrid, Inga and her father Jan, Veronica and Jana from Slovakia, Amelia and Steffi, and gonna see Victor and Natalia finish in the coming moments. I'm gonna check in on Andrea and Irina, also doing really great. Yeah, it's always tricky with pairs because there's double as fast. Well done, Victor and Natalia. So
Second place, well done.
lightning speed puzzlers here. Yeah, it's really tricky with pairs because double is fast. Okay.
Yes, double as fast, especially if you have two people that are both really fast puzzlers. And I know that Kristin's sister also did really well at Norwegian Championships last weekend. I think she placed really high. I don't remember exactly what. Maybe we can ask them about it later. So she has definitely also improved from since we saw her at Worlds, even more, even though she was already very fast. So if you have two fast puzzlers together, it can go very, very fast.
Yeah, so Chiara and Magdalena also have the last few pieces. And they're going to get in there just...
yes, they're done.
Chiara and... Lena and Maya as well. We don't have you on the screen, just hold it there. Yeah. Lena and Maya, can you show us your puzzle, please? We didn't have you on screen. Lena and Maya. And Olivia and Astrid are done.
Yay!
So now, and then we can see Steffi and Emilia are also just got a handful of pieces left, and that's how quick it can go. All right, so I also want to check in on Patrick. I saw that his was getting quite looking quite full. Patrick and Evelyn from Switzerland.
It's hard to keep up with you guys. You're all too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows that the level of speed puzzling has just increased so much, and the fact that all of these puzzlers are able to finish this under 30 minutes and so close together is really astonishing. I mean, I don't think this would have happened a year ago, to be honest. Oh, and Emilia is done, and Steffi, good job.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a photo puzzle. Photos are generally harder than illustrations. Yeah, so if this is if you're just, if you've only just done the border and just working on a section, don't be intimidated by these super speedy, lightning fast puzzlers. It's only 30 minutes and we still have 90 minutes to go. We do have a 2-hour time limit. So we do understand not everyone here is someone who's, training thousands of pieces per week. We do have a lot of people participating with family members who are, not so speedy puzzlers, or even perhaps non-puzzlers, or people just participating for their first competition. So do your best, and we'll catch more on you on screen. So right now we have Veronica and Jana, Inga and Jan, Andrea and Irina, Sabrina and Aiden, Tobias and Sarah, and Barbara and Magdalena. All, with their eyes on the top 10 spot. So just to recap, first place was Kristin and Linda. Second, Victor and Natalia, 2 minutes later. 1 minute later, Chiara and Magdalena. Then Lena and Maya, Olivia and Astrid, and Steffi and Emilia.
Congratulations, those are the top 6 finishers of today, which is crazy that you're already 6 pairs finished. That is really, really amazing. And we see Andrea and Irina also closing in on the trees. We have Tobias and his partner who are at a pretty similar spot. Everybody's finishing up on the trees. So that's kind of what I was thinking as well, that the trees would be the final part that we're going to see everybody working on.
Yeah, so when it comes down to the trees, there are different like densities and different colors. The top left-hand corner has more like a reddish glow, and then in the top right-hand corner, they're very dense and they have like almost like red, purple, and black. If you are just starting the trees, you can focus on the black lines. So you have like the big black tree trunks with the black branches, and they are thick enough that you can kind of basically place them where they fit. I think that really helped me to focus on the black lines as opposed to like all the small twiggy chaos.
Andrea and Irina just finished. Congrats. You can go to bed now and sleep. But yeah, I would be too hyped up after like a speed competition to like go straight to bed. Cornelia and Karin, well done.
Yes, I'm just going to check Cornelia. Let's see. Oh, there. Fantastic, Cornelia and Karin.
Top 10.
So we have, so 7th was Andrea and Irina, 8th Cornelia and Karin from Austria. So now Barbara and Magdalena on the home stretch, just 15 pieces to go. Could be neck and neck with Tobias and Sarah. Oh, okay, it looks like Tobias and Sarah have a few less. But last pieces for Inga and Jan. So I wonder if after the marathon, if they did this one as a solo or as a pair. So both Inga and Jan were on the same team.
Yeah. And I was just going to say there has to be at least one Dutch team in the top 10. And there we go.
Congrats, Inga and Jan.
Yeah, so Astrid is informing me that Linda was 7th in the individuals in Norway. She won the pairs competition and their team came 2nd. So that's that's just tells you like how successful these speed puzzlers are that came here in the top 10. They're very, very fast.
Yeah, but a lot of people are closing in on the trees. I mean, I don't see anywhere else where people are finishing. It is those twiggy sections above the purplish and the orange sky. So Lenka and Philippa also going in strong. Jenny and Maya, Taya and Maria. Oh, looking good. Oh, and Marcia, hang on.
Marcia, they are almost done as well. Oh, Veronica and Jana, congratulations. Agnes, also done. And Marcia, done.
Agnes, your camera was off. Can you please check your camera and show us your puzzle, please?
And Tobias done. Everybody's coming in now. We're around the 35, 36 minute mark.
All right. I'll just add a couple more to the screen and then we can bring in our first place for today. All right, so Kristen, if you're there, you can turn your camera on. Oh, and I'm also going to add Emma and Siobhan to the screen from Ireland. They're doing great, and we'll also be having a chat with them later on after we've done the top interviews. So, Kristen, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Linda.
Hi.
All right, well, that was amazing. Congrats on that. Unfortunately we only got you in the last 1 or 2 minutes. But yeah, tell us how you approached that puzzle today.
I started with the bridge or the pier, and Linda did the edge, and then I just continued from the bottom part, and she did like the sky spot, and then we just worked together with the middle part and the trees. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a solid strategy. First of all, I want to congratulate you for getting first today, and also congratulate you for your good placement at the Norwegian championships. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Last weekend.
Last weekend, yes. I was very excited to see you placing so well. And so Kristin, you weren't at the Norwegian championship.
No, I was home with the flu.
Yeah. I hope you're feeling better now.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So are you going to be competing together for future events? Are you guys going to the European Championship or the World Championship? What's your plans?
Nordic and
yes.
are the plans.
Yeah, we're not going to the European this year, but we're going to the Nordics in June. So that's the next on our plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is your, do you train often together, or do you train separately and then just get together for the events? What does it look like for you?
I think leading up to Nordics now, we will probably try to get some more training. We haven't, or I have not been puzzling that much since Worlds. but yeah, I think we will probably try to step up our game now.
Yeah, we will have to try that.
Yeah, it's better when it's going towards spring. It's just more energy, and it's better to go and see each other because she lives 1 hour apart.
Yeah, so it's not that you can just spontaneously just hop over. You kind of have to plan it out a bit in advance of when you can do the training.
Yeah, and we have a lot of bad weather here during the winter. So.
Yeah. And but today you did really well. Did you like this image? Is this something that you would say is one of your strengths, or do you prefer something else?
I don't like this kind of puzzles very much, but my good teammate here, she's really good at them. So
yeah, I like for photographies, and nature. So I was really happy when I saw it, and I think it seems more difficult, and I like that it's a bit challenging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, and I also like this brand. It's quite similar to Ravensburger, the cut. Mm-hmm. It's right up my alley.
Yeah, Nathan is the just a French version of Ravensburger, so they have the same cut. They just have a different finish. So this one's a little bit more glossy than Ravensburger. So, well, you are a very accomplished pairs team, even though you don't practice that much. But what are maybe some tips you would give aspiring pairs people? What's an essential thing maybe that you have learned from puzzling together that you could tell other people?
I mean, we try to communicate. If one of us is feeling this part is not going too well, maybe we can swap. And also just the placement of the puzzle and the pieces, so you don't cast a shadow for the other person when you so don't be in each other's way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you, let's say you hit like a roadblock, you say like, okay, let's switch, let's swap. Like, why do you think that is helpful?
Just like new eyes.
Yeah.
You have like a different perspective. You can sometimes you just get stuck in something, and I don't know, it just helps.
Yeah. I think it can also help if you're doing an individual puzzle and you get stuck with something, to just maybe not get obsessed about finishing this section, but just jump to another one, or even just like stand up or sit down or just do something a little bit different so that you unstuck yourself.
Yeah.
When are the Nordic Championships happening again? Because there's so many puzzle events happening now in the next few weeks that I've completely lost the overview.
The middle of June, I think. 14th.
Yeah, like the 13th, 14th of June.
Okay. Yeah, that's the same as the Dutch Championship, so it's going to be another interesting puzzle weekend.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Michelle, do you have any more questions for Kristen and Linda?
Yeah, I was wondering, Linda, so Gaute, is that your husband?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So how was that to puzzle with your husband and win the pairs final?
Well, I was supposed to puzzle with Kristen, but when she and Siv got sick, we got the opportunity to puzzle together. When we started speed puzzling, we started out building together a lot. So we haven't done it as much lately, but we still had fun, and it went really well. Didn't expect to get the win when Kristin didn't join me, but yeah. And Gaute got second in or third in
The individual.
Yeah, he got silver there.
That's amazing. Was that expected? Like, was that his goal to get into the top 3? Like, was he aiming for that, or was it more of a surprise?
He was hoping, but it was a bit of a surprise. But it was his kind of puzzle. He really likes gradient skies, and yeah.
And that was a lot of sky, that one.
Yeah, I don't like that, but yeah, well.
Yeah, so for those who didn't see it, it was a photo of a Norwegian, was it an island or something? It was like half sky and half water, and just very like soft pastel-y colors.
And a lighthouse.
Yeah, and a little lighthouse.
A little lighthouse. Yeah, so not much going on in that image. So really very different to, the puzzles that you got in the individual qualifying rounds were very busy puzzles, lots of details, lots of colors, lot going on. And then the final, it's like, okay, maybe like 40% sky, a mountain, a lighthouse, and then water. And yeah, a really big surprise. So I can imagine that between the individual round, qualifying rounds and the final, that the placements would have jumped quite a bit if people were really good at a busy puzzle and they're not so good at this style.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was that puzzle and the one from team was exclusive, so no one had built them before.
Yeah, that's really great that they had an unreleased puzzle for the final individuals. Was it also unreleased for the the pairs? It wasn't. That was Succulent Love, but the teams.
Yeah, the teams was a new one.
All right.
And the teams was also a specific puzzle for that
area,
city, right? Yeah.
Karmøy. So that was really nice.
Yeah, that's really fun. I liked it. I like it when they put new puzzles and then it's just fair for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Linda and Kristen. Great to see you again. And congrats, Linda, on your yeah, success in the Norwegian Championship, and really sorry, Kristen, that you missed it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you'll be in good health for the Nordic Championship, and we wish you the best. Thanks.
Bye.
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 All right, so we have Katja is just about to place the last pieces in, and Bibi and Anna about to finish. Congrats. So I haven't even been taking note of how many finishes we have because they've just been rolling in so fast. But let's see. The last one I said was 8th. So the 9th was Inga, 10th was Barbara. So yeah, I'm just going to add some more people to the screen, and then maybe I'll count up. So we have Christina, Nikki and Pete Thomas, Aaron and Sophie, Everly, and Asaka as well.
I did a quick count, but I'm not sure if it's correct. 37.
Okay, you can just type that in there and then we'll... Yeah, so it's just a guideline and it's not... may or may not be correct. But yeah, we still have more
So
than
much
half
time.
people. We still have more than half people puzzling.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of time. So if you are still, or if you have just finished the border and you're still trotting along, like there's so much time to finish. And I'm confident that most of you will be able to finish this within 2 hours. I mean, we're not even halfway through the time. So just don't lose hope. Continue puzzling, and you know, if you're feeling like maybe now all the stress is gone, you can also just have a breather and continue going on. I know it's hard to like keep the motivation up when a few people have finished and you're just thinking like, oh no, I'm only halfway, I'm only a quarter of the way, and some other people have finished. But you just have to tell yourself you're not really competing against these other people. Like, you are basically just puzzling for yourself, and yeah, as long as you you do your best, you win, you know? So in the end, you'll have a puzzle.
Yeah, so it's just gone 50 minutes. So my daughter and I just finished in the 49 minutes just a minute ago. Well done, Nikki and Pete. Yeah. And Christina has also finished. Christina Reba and her partner. Oh, don't see it at the moment.
Yeah, and also something to keep in mind is that at these bigger competitions, the limit for pairs is, I think, 1 hour 15. So you're still way below the hour 15. So any finish so far is like exceptionally fast. And something also to remember, we always compare ourselves to other speed puzzlers. But if we compare ourselves to just casual puzzlers who take like 10 hours to finish a 500-piece puzzle, you know, then you kind of know like where you're going to place your, like how you can judge your own fastness compared to the general population.
Yeah, so Jenny and Kat just finished.
Yeah, if you're finished and you want to jump over to the YouTube stream and let us know what you thought of the puzzle, you can just leave your thoughts in the comments, and then we can see like if you liked it or not.
So Andrea just wrote that they had an extra edge piece and somebody else had a missing edge piece. So maybe they belong to each other. Andrea, you can send us a picture and maybe someone will have to do some swapping at Worlds to return the pieces. Yeah, so if you ever have missing or extra pieces, please send us a photo and we can try to match you up, because we do such a big, we have such a huge batch of puzzles. It is likely that somebody in the same competition would have it. So we do try to match that up as much as possible. Alternatively, Nathan and Ravensburger do have a missing piece policy. So if somebody else doesn't have it, every puzzle has like a control number on the side of the box. There's like a little number, and you can register that on the website to get the missing piece replaced. All right. So Aaron and Sophie just finished. Congrats.
Woo!
So on screen we have Everly, Anthony and Katarina, Valentina, and BB. All doing a really solid job there.
Yeah.
So our third place for today is Kiara. I'm just going to... no. There was no registration. No, actually, I just clicked on the wrong competition. That's why. Okay, something weird has just happened. Oh, there we go. I thought that I'd lost all the registrations. Okay, here we go. Spreadsheets. Yes, so if Kiara is there, she can join us with Magdalena and have a little chat. I think this is really, yeah, this is very much Kiara's style of puzzle. She does a lot of really big puzzles with large sections of sky. So this would probably be quite fun for her. Hi, Kiara and Magdalena. I think they just jumped out of the meeting. All right, let's see.
Yeah, I think maybe they pressed the wrong button.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
There you are. Hi.
Great. I quit like the call and like killed my like from tab while I was editing, like instead of blocking the microphone.
Hello. Well, yeah, now you're here. Congrats on your third place. Well done. I know you, Chiara, but I don't know Magdalena. Magdalena, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Magdalena, and I'm also living in Munich, and I was last registering for Worlds, and then Chiara saw me on one AJJ, and she wrote me, and yeah, sometimes we puzzle together on the AJJ. And I was also on the nationals in Germany.
Yeah, nice. So you found each other. It's always great to find other puzzlers that live close by that you can connect with. So today, was it your first time puzzling together at a competition, or have you puzzled a competition before together?
We have done a couple other AJJs. Yeah, I don't remember how many, but for sure we did the Stitch one together, the round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't think we did many because we tried to organize, but then dates didn't never worked out for both of us. But we have swapped a few puzzles at least between us.
Yeah. But today it worked out, and it worked out really well. I mean, you placed third today with like all of these really, really good other pairs teams that were here today. So yeah, you can be proud of your placement. Tell me what you thought about the puzzle.
I liked it. I think it's a pretty puzzle. It looked potentially scary, like at first glance, but I don't think it was that bad. I think it was actually pretty nice and enjoyable. Yeah, me too. I think it was, I didn't do the trees, Chiara did it. So I did the bottom and that was nice. Yeah.
I enjoy the trees too. I think like they have a lot of different patterns in them. Either like the sky color is different or the trees are actually different. If you look at them, like once you start working, you can distinguish every blob of tree from one another. So yeah, I think it was pretty fun. Nice puzzle.
So Chiara was working on the trees, Magdalena was working on the bottom. What did you have like another strategy going into today? We saw you were working on opposite sides of the table, so I'm assuming one of you was like working from up down and the other one, you know, from the bottom up.
We had the puzzle horizontally between us, so we both had it sideways.
Okay.
I think like with a puzzle like this, like the names are hard. The tall puzzle instead of the landscape one, the portrait puzzle. It's easier for pairs because then like you just have it in the middle. It's horizontal and it works better, and you don't get in each other's way as much.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think we had a lot of strategy. We didn't really talk a lot about what to do. We were almost opening the box when we were like, well, wait, on which side do we put the box and the pieces? Also, I think I asked you whether we would sort the edge out, like as we were already starting to flip. Yeah. We met like 10 minutes before and haven't puzzled together for a while, and so we weren't really super ready for yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a time change today, so it's like an hour earlier technically than what it should be.
Yeah, didn't sleep enough, even if I knew about it.
So yeah, we the question today was about training, and you talked a little bit about like how yeah, together you have not trained as much, but let's talk maybe about individual training and what is kind of your normal routine when leading up to a competition.
I have to say I was not much, I had not much training before because I had my exams in the university, and now I was with my university at a excursion. Yeah. So I didn't have much time, but my plan is to do more training now. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get second next time.
Yeah, I don't have a plan yet either. So last week I told myself that I would do a puzzle a day since I'm going to the Finnish championship next weekend, but I have even failed at that. So I think that's something that I did try to do, and I will try to do again, at least for Worlds. Maybe like if I can make it also for Europeans or like earlier, like try to puzzle more or less every day. I think it's the main thing that can help me. Like I don't have so much time to train all of the tiny little details. Like there's a lot of things that I want to do, but I will have to pick one or two and just work on those. And I think last year, and probably we will continue trying with Kati, we've tried to meet up like once every month or two. And have like at least a day of serious training and exercise. And there, like we do a bit more of thinking, let's test like having the pieces on the other side for 2000 and then see whether we like that or not, and things like that. Yeah. I should do that also as individuals. I pick a thing and train that and time yourself a lot, but it just requires a lot of time and it's hard to find the time.
Yeah, that's true. I think I saw that you and Kati are also going to be at the European Championship as a pair.
Yeah, we are. we are going as a pair there and at Worlds again. So.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to see. Do you have anything else coming up in the future, couple of weeks or months? I don't know, that you're looking forward to in the puzzling area?
I have a lot of puzzle things this year. So yes. So I'm going to Finland next weekend.
Nice.
And then so that's the April one. In May there's like the competition that Kati organized last year. She's doing it again in Koditz. So I'm going. Lena's also going. And then the weekend after that there is the Italian Championship. So I'm going to that one too. And then there's Europeans, and then there's Worlds, and there's going to be a 10-hour marathon here in Munich in November. So I already am planning to register for that, even if I don't know with whom with yet, but I have it blocked on my calendar. So yeah, that's a lot, and more might show up because I can also plan those kind of last minute.
And you, Magdalena?
Yeah, I'm only going to Koditz and Worlds this year. And the Switzerland Championships with my old team from the Leonberg competition in October. And yeah, I'm going to Koditz, but I don't have the time for European Championships, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a year, a time full of puzzling for both of you, maybe a bit more for Chiara. And I think, anyways, this year is like the year of the puzzle competitions here in Europe. They've just been popping up all over the place, and more people are going to them. And I personally also saw with these marathons popping up, like a few years ago, there would only be 1 or 2 really fast teams at these like 12-hour marathons and stuff. And meanwhile, there's always at least 5, 6 really fast teams at them. So the competition is also getting more fun when you're going to the marathons.
I agree with you. It is the year of puzzling. I think it's exploding this year. Like the amount of like national championship and extra championships, like even like there's the Nordics and Europeans, and who knows what else will pop up that we might even miss on the side. And yeah, the marathons are also expanding. Like just the fact that there's going to be one in Munich, it's big. Like they used to be only in Belgium, and like France is doing more of them, and Spain is doing more of them, and it's really nice to see the puzzle, like I don't know, not the world, but and not the community, but you know, just puzzle.
Yeah, it's growing. It's growing, and there's more and more people that also want to join these competitions that are not like super fast speed puzzle. And I think the marathons are a good thing to dip your toe in, even if you just casually want to go with your friends to have fun and just do a few puzzles. So yeah, I encourage everyone to go to the events or organize them yourself if you feel like there's not a lot of events in your area. There's always room for more. So yeah, Michelle, do you have any questions for Chiara and Magdalena?
Yes. So actually, I just want to point out Magdalena is a very fast puzzler in her own right. Magdalena was part of the team that came first at the German Nationals. That was they called the Fast Four with Nina Schicks, Anger Mingers, and Mara Holler. So I had a quick interview with Magdalena on that night, and the following day in the individuals, she was also in the top 20 from a very strong German contingent. And
we are going to see their team at Worlds too. So.
Yes. Yeah, that's really
exciting.
So Chiara, anything you'd like to share about the 24-hour event in France?
Oh, well, it was amazing. It was so much fun. I really, really loved it. I think it was, yeah, a great trip. It's gonna stay in my like puzzle highlights forever, I think. We did so many puzzles. It mostly worked out exactly as planned. I was so stressed out that we might not all actually make it there because we were flying in from so many different places and like going to Paris and renting 2 cars and driving there for hours. And like, you know, there was all of this planning and just, you know, everything needs to work for us to all get there. That was very stressful, but then like we did, and like it was so much fun. Yeah, I really loved it. It was really good. The fact that they only had Ravensburger or Nathan was also good. Like I did the 24 hours in Belgium too, but personally, like I enjoyed this one much more just because of the quality of the puzzles. And also like, I'm sorry, but like I'm not a Jan van Asteren fan. Like it's not my art, and in Hanut you get just one of those. Every other puzzle is a Jan van Asteren, and like
Yeah.
that's just no. And then you get like the Falcon, which have some false fits, not a lot, but like enough to be a little bit annoying. We did find out actually that like old Nathan puzzles also had false fits. There was like our second puzzle was this super pretty like door with a gradient. I don't know how to explain that, but like there was like this wall with a gradient wall, super pretty, 1500, but it has so many false fits, and like that slowed everyone down a little bit. But yeah, I think they had good puzzle choices. Apart from this tiger puzzle, I don't know if you saw pictures of it.
Yes.
In the snow.
Yes. I don't know why they chose that, to be honest.
I mean, I think every marathon has one puzzle that is really hard to do just to slow people down, I think.
Yeah, but like that in 2000 was a bit too much, I think.
I know.
In like, 1000 also, it would already slow people down.
Yeah. It reminded me like not in the content of the puzzle, but just the meanness of when they give you this puzzle also of the sand Jan van Hasteren puzzle that was just like dunes, and it was just yellow 2000 piece puzzle that they had in Hanu.
Yeah.
And we did that one in the middle of the night, so you're kind of loopy. And it definitely slowed people down if that was their goal.
I think the Dune one was still easier than this. Like, I don't think the Dune one, like, in Anu took us 6 hours to do. The Tigers
No.
So yeah, the Tigers were worse. And that's actually the only regret that I have is not like improvising the schedule a little bit and like staying in longer, because I was the only person not hating the Tigers, but it was like 5 a.m. or so, and it was like my lot to go to bed. And so I did leave them there with the Tigers, despite being the only one not hating the Tigers. I probably should have like stayed around for another hours to do Tigers and then left them only to the snow, for which I didn't have a particular, I don't know, connection to them. Yeah, we got through the Tigers too, and had a few more hours of puzzling. I felt sorry though for everybody else that just got to the Tigers and couldn't get out of it, because that felt very mean. And I don't think I intended it to be that mean, but it was that mean. So.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes if the people who are choosing the puzzles are really aware like how hard it is going to be, because like you said before, if it was 1,000 piece puzzle, yeah, it would be difficult, but it would be like done relatively fast. And a 2,000 piece puzzle is just so big to just do stripes or fur.
Yeah, it wasn't even stripes. It was just like because it was so blown out that you couldn't even see the stripes. It was just, yes, very random for
Yeah.
the worry one too. I've heard that the organizers of this one are not like big puzzlers, so probably no, they didn't know how bad it was. They should have consulted with someone on their puzzle chart. But every other puzzle was really nice and fun. So in general, I think it was okay. There was only one like this.
Mhm.
Makes it better.
Yeah, and yeah, so that was the really hard one. That was 2,000 pieces. What do you think in general about having a 2,000 piece puzzle in a marathon like that?
I think it's good. There were a few, but I've seen them in marathon before. I think it works really well on a marathon because like it's like a long, marathon like puzzling. Like it's about the resistance and like just keeping up the pace and continuing. And like a 2,000, if it does fit on the table, like it's not that bad to do as a team. Tiger excluded. Like a normal 2,000 is fun to do as a team. And you wouldn't do it in a fast competition, I think, because it's hard to estimate how long it will take. But if you're around for 12 hours or 24 hours, like you can spend the time on a 2,000 too. And maybe it's a couple of hours, but it doesn't bother you on the long run. And some 2,000s have really pretty images that you don't find on the 1,000. So you can get.
Where do you put all the pieces when you're flipping and all that? You must have like a ton of trays.
We had trays. I think usually the tables are big enough that if you use the tables properly, like you can fit the pieces on the table because the tables are very long. So you get like, you can use one side of the table to have all of the pieces and the other side to start building the puzzle. Some of them are slightly overlapping at the beginning, but like they do fit. That's something that we weren't super optimizing for. Like we had the pile of trays on one side of the table, and that was actually taking up space where we could have flipped the pieces. Like we did, that was some of the retrospective, like after the 24 hours, it was with the 2,000, why didn't we just take the trays off of the table and use the whole table? I don't know, we just didn't. So we had them a bit in the way at the beginning, but then like at some point, like I think all the time, like we had the edges like not fully built because it was we need to slide the pieces away and make some room before they can fit. But having two people sort while two people start gives you time to move things on the tray and have less stuff on the table. So it worked out more or less for us and also for every other team. In Belgium before, like when like I did that with the mostly Italian team, like 12 hours or so, we used to not put the pieces on the table. We used to flip them directly inside trays. Have just a stack of trays with the puzzle pieces, apart from the 500s, in which case we directly do it on the table. I don't know which one is better or worse as a strategy. Like there's pros and cons to both things. But yes, a lot of trays are useful for sure. And I have not seen one marathon yet where there is a limit on trays. It's just bring whatever tool you want, and that's it. Because it's more of a party. Like it's not such a serious competition like the Europeans or Worlds or an individual like short competition, etc.
Magdalena, have you done a 2,000 piece puzzle?
Yeah, but not for a time. Also, just I think I did it. It was on my floor in my room, and then I did every day a little bit. Yeah. Have you done any marathon? No, and unfortunately, I don't have time in November for a Munich marathon.
Well, if it works out, it's gonna happen again next year. So.
Yeah, I asked Susanne, and she said if it works good, she will do it again. Yeah.
Well, there might be another marathon coming soon. I'll announce something next week if everything is. Yes, I might have something to announce next week about a marathon. So there might be another opportunity if you can't make it in November. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chiara and Magdalena. You worked really well today. And yeah, it was lovely to chat with you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so everyone is doing great. Oh, Dirk and Lisa, last pieces. Come on. Woohoo! Congrats, Dirk and Lisa. And it looks like is it Emmy and Helmi just about to finish?
Oh wow, I didn't realize that there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, we are ready. I
Like-
just don't find them. Where shall we put them?
Yeah,
Done.
just write done in the chat. And I'll just write a note that we checked the video. You were on screen, so
Yeah.
All right. Congrats, Emmy and Helmi. So, still puzzling. Oh, look, Hi-Fi and Colin have just got their last pieces to put in. Well done. Yes, everyone ending up in those dense, twiggy tree areas. So,
Yes.
we also have Marie is doing really well. Marie, and let's see who her partner is. Thomas. We have Amy and Marina from Germany, and Larissa and Anna from Germany. So let's see, we also have Tina, Vesna and Jan, Claudia, Nicole Nikolova, Katalin, Rebecca, Galina, and yeah, so we still have several pairs still puzzling, and the time is only 1 hour and 20 minutes. So if your goal is 90 minutes, you still have 10 minutes to go. And if your goal is to finish within the 2-hour limit, you still have 40 minutes. So everyone's doing a great job, and we had a lot of finishes already. So yeah, let's have a chat with Emma and Siobhan from Ireland. You can turn your camera on. And well done, Marie. Oh, there we are. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today. And yeah, how about you start telling us what you thought of the puzzle today and how you worked together?
Wasn't really a puzzle that either of us would be strong with.
No, we found it pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, not our favorite type of puzzle at all, but we got there.
Yeah. We kind of, flip everything. You do the
Yeah.
order, and then
Yeah.
I do some sorting, and then depending on the puzzle, we just, kind of start into it. But there was a couple of times there where we got stuck, we changed, tried to do something else. Yeah. it
Yeah,
was
we kind of did the bridge first and the bottom half, didn't we? And then trees last.
like everyone.
Yeah. And can you tell us how you met?
We actually met at Worlds last year. Yeah.
We went over to Spain to meet, and we live less than an hour away from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And
They're from Ireland last year, so we all just kind of met up.
so is speed puzzling still quite in its infancy in Ireland?
Yeah, it is. There's
Yeah.
about maybe 10 of us who do it, and then we're trying to build our community.
Yeah, there's a few of us going over to the UK Nationals then next weekend to compete over there. But yeah, we're still pretty small. I think most of us are on here doing the EJJs. That's how we
Yeah.
find each other.
So who else is there? Is there Kieran?
Kieran, yeah. So I'm doing pairs with Kieran next weekend.
Yeah, in England, yeah.
You're with your dad.
Yeah.
Colin, Aylin, and Franco, who are actually from Argentina. They live in Dublin. So they're part of the crew as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, so tell us about you had a meetup recently that you organized. Was that just a casual get together?
Yeah, we've been organising a few like casual meetups, kind of puzzle swaps. So people bring their puzzles and we swap with each other. We had like a little speed run going, a sheet with a timer. We did a bit of puzzle chess.
chess.
Yeah, that was fun.
it's really just to kind of meet up, find other puzzlers,
Yeah.
meet in person. So we've done 2 so far, and then we've got another one organised April 26th in Blanchardstown for anybody who's listening who's in Ireland at Blanchardstown Library. Yeah, try and meet some more people.
Oh, that's great. So you're just still in the beginning stages, just trying to grow your community and get the word out. I know, Emma, that when you came back, you were from Worlds, you were featured, was it on a newspaper or in the radio?
Yeah, I was on a couple of radio shows and
the TV.
Yeah, the TV as well, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Yes.
getting out there a bit in Ireland now.
Yeah, have you had any people mention that they saw you there and then that's how they found about speed puzzling? Or...
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and we organised like a Facebook group, so we have about 200 on that now, and I think a lot of them found us through just like seeing the videos from Worlds and the newspaper and radio.
It helps them do really well as well. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, so Catherine, I'm sure you have some questions for the 2 of them.
Yeah, so Emma, you're the best Irish speed puzzler, at least according to the World's stats. How long had you been speed puzzling before you went to Worlds last year?
I was puzzling like my whole life, but I never knew about speed puzzling until I'd say a few months before Worlds. So I only kind of started getting into it, like I was always doing 1,000 pieces. I kind of got rid of all my 500 pieces when I was a child, and then heard about the speed puzzling and had to buy a load of 500s again. But yeah, I think I was doing it a few months beforehand, and since then now I've doing it a lot. I really like it.
And when did you realize that you might be kind of good at this, and that you might have a chance, you know, to, I think you were in the 30th or 30 something?
33rd, yeah. Yeah, I think one of my friends just sent me a video of like the competition from the year before. She always knew I did puzzles, and then I kind of said, oh, I'll give it a go and time myself, and I was similar enough to the time from the year before, so I said I'd give it a go.
Yeah, and your go immediately brought you. Yeah, I mean, how did it feel for you, like to be there, and especially just entering this world just a few months before?
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking because I didn't really know what to expect at all. So it was very nervous going in the first day, but I really liked it, and it was like so nice to meet all the other people who did them as well. And yeah, loved it. Kind of got addicted to it now.
That's the problem with speed puzzling.
Yeah.
And Siobhan, you also, was it your first time at Worlds last year as well?
No, I was there the year before. So 2023 was my first in-person competition, Worlds. I think I was the only person from Ireland there that year.
Yeah.
And I got to finals. I was really nervous. I just did individuals, but I loved it. I just loved meeting people. And then this year, yeah, my goal was to meet all the Irish people and try and get a team going back for this year, which we have.
Yeah.
But I started puzzling in 2020, so when there was nothing else to do. And then the first, I think it was the Battle of the YouTube Puzzlers, the first one that they did, was, I bought the puzzle and I was like, I wonder if I'm any good. And I did in like an hour and 21 minutes or something. So I figured I was fast enough to go to Worlds. And then, I love doing the competitions, but I love just meeting people and talking puzzles and swapping puzzles probably more than doing the competitions.
Yeah. So you enjoy the community aspect more, or just as much, if not more, than the actual competition?
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to be fast. It's a really nice puzzling with Emma. Yeah. And I find like I've improved, I think, from when we are doing more and more. Like if you can puzzle with somebody then faster than you, it really, I don't know, it's helped me be faster as well somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning before, Emma, that you were going to puzzle with your dad. Do you have also is your family in general like into puzzling? I mean, you said before that you were puzzling also as a kid. So we've just seen the phenomenon with like some other like puzzling families that are regularly here in the Euro Jigsaw Jam. So I'm always curious about where this, if it's like a family thing to be good at puzzles.
Yeah, no, my family wouldn't really be that interested in them. But I suppose I'd always make them do them at me. So whenever I'd always have this on the go, and they'd always join in. And help out, I suppose. And then when I was signing up for Worlds, I didn't know anyone else from Ireland, so I wanted to try and do 2 competitions when I was there. So I said I did the pairs as well and dragged my dad into it. But he ended up liking it. He was very nervous, but he liked it. And we're doing the UK Nationals together next week as well, me and my dad. And then Dad's gonna sit down then for the rest of it, and me and Siobhan are gonna go together for Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And do I understand it correctly that you have also founded a Irish Jigsaw Puzzle Association? Can you tell us a bit more about that and like what kind of things you plan to do?
Yeah, we set it up after Worlds last year. I think there was about 5 of us that were at Worlds, and we kind of decided we'd set this up. So we got a Facebook group, we've an Instagram page as well. We've had a few social meetups, and we're kind of thinking about a competition.
Slowly getting into it. Yeah, I mean, fair play to every organizer who actually puts these competitions on, because it takes a lot and you don't realize until you go to actually try and organize something. We're looking for a venue and insurance and that kind of stuff, so we'll get there, but for the time being we're kind of casually meeting up and finding our crew here in Ireland as well. And when we can, we will hold a competition. We just don't have a time yet.
Yeah, but that's exciting to see that there's something happening in Ireland. So anyone who's watching, who is in Ireland or from Ireland, go and follow their Facebook page, their Instagram page. What are the names of the pages so for people to find them?
With the Irish Jigsaw Puzzle Association.
Okay, simple.
Yeah.
And are you also still looking for maybe volunteers or people to help you?
Yeah, I suppose we're not really at that stage yet, but definitely that would be good down the line. But even people just showing up to our meetups is great, and getting to meet other people and swapping puzzles with people is good fun.
Yeah. So if you're interested, there's a group that just started out that can use your help, and or just to get to know each other, I think is also nice. What kind of puzzles do you usually have in Ireland? Because I'm imagining that you have different brands from what's available, like here on this side of the pond.
I think it's pretty similar. Ravensburger, Clementoni, Gibson's, from the UK, and that there's one Irish specific brand, Goslin Games. Mightn't be that well known, but apart from that, it's pretty much what you can get.
The Gosling ones do really nice, like Irish images, kind of like mythological, kind of. They're really nice.
Some scenery ones, and then some illustrated stuff. Illustrated.
Yeah, they're kind of cartoony, so they're nice. That's kind of our style of puzzle. Me and Siobhan prefer doing like bright cartoon images, rather than the one we had today.
But we have started. We literally just started Eye of the Glacier because we need to practice those ones as well.
Just to get back a little bit of the topic of today of training, let me see if you have. Did you write something in?
I don't think I did.
I don't know if I did either, but I think we were kind of saying that we still both prefer doing puzzles for enjoyment more than training. I think like when we try and do it fast for too long, it kind of loses the enjoyment a little bit. So we're probably more like for enjoyment than lead puzzlers, really.
But meeting up, when we do meet up, that's when we'll do like a couple in a day, or I've met up with Kieran and we'll do some practice puzzles like that. For me, the thought of doing the same puzzle over and over again isn't the best. But then we were saying today we both want to try puzzles coming up to the UK Nationals next week, ones that we're not, that we wouldn't specifically go for. So the ones that we find hard, we need to practice more. So coming up to the competition, I suppose that's when we start swatting.
And I suppose it is addictive. Sometimes I start a puzzle and then I'm like, oh, I did that one fast, I'll do another one fast, and I could do a few 500s in a row then, see how fast I can get them. So pretty fun as well.
So you were talking before about UK Nationals next weekend. What kind of puzzles are they using there?
They're using Ravensburger ones, but they're unreleased, so they're designed by UK artists, I think. So that'll be pretty interesting to see what they turn out like.
Yeah, that's nice, and I love that when they do unreleased puzzles or puzzles that nobody has seen before, just because like evens out the playing field. Nobody has done it before, and everyone, because it's different to do a puzzle for the first time than to do a puzzle for the 5th time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. It makes such a difference when you've done it before, I think. So helps a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so you mentioned before you live about, what was it, half an hour away from each other?
Less than an hour.
Yeah,
Less than an hour. So how often would you say that you meet up?
We probably should try more, but maybe once a month, once every 2 months, kind of.
Yeah, kind of depends. This, when there's other stuff going on as well, trying to find a weekend or a weekend day to.
Yeah.
I'll come down to Emma's place and we'll puzzle here.
But when we book these EJJs, it's great because it kind of forces us to meet up, and then we always end up doing a few more together, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make use of the time. Then I'm assuming today is going to be the rest of the day is going to be puzzle
There's
stuff
going to be
happening.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have the 1,000 piece EJJ in June. We haven't actually done a 1,000 piece yet together, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to do a 1,000 piece puzzle as a pair is a different. Maybe you need a little bit of different strategy than doing a 500 piece puzzle as a pair.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, but I did my first 1,000 piece in the last one. I think it was the Burger Man puzzle, and I really enjoyed it. It was nice trying something different, and I'm kind of used to doing 1,000 pieces anyway. That would be more what I go for than the 500. So it was nice completing fast doing them.
Yeah.
I'm scared of doing 1,000 piece speed running it.
I can tell you it's addictive. Like, I was intimidated, but by the 3rd one, I was like, this is so much more fun. And I think it's really helped me get faster for the 500 because you're just holding that momentum for like 2 to 3 hours. And then when you come to do a 500, like, it just feels so effortless in comparison. So I feel like since I've started training 1,000 piece puzzles as speed puzzles, like, it's really helping to get faster.
Okay, I'll have to borrow your one. I stand up when I'm speed puzzling, and I find if I sit down, I go back a gear, and I kind of like casual. And the thought of like standing for 2 or 3 hours trying to do like the same puzzle. But maybe I'll have to.
Yeah, I always sit down then, so I'm sitting down at one side and Siobhan's standing up at the other side. So maybe try sitting down here.
Yeah, for the 1,000 piece, I always stand up when I'm flipping, and then while I'm sorting, and then once like I know, okay, now I've got something good to work on, then I can sit down and work on that. And then every time like I kind of finish a section or I get stuck, then I stand up again, get like a better overview, and it just kind of helps to motivate me a bit more. And then I say some things like to try and get me pumped again, and then so I'm varying that. I couldn't stand up for 2 or more hours, but
I might have to try that. I'll try that.
Yeah,
no, it is a good experience. So Emma, you said you prefer 1,000s. Have you also speed puzzled them before the 1,000 competition? Was it something that you also did before it was before the event?
I never really timed them, but normally I put a movie on and I'd be doing a jigsaw and I try finish the puzzle before the movie's over. So I suppose that was kind of my practice. Yeah, but I've started timing a couple of them lately, and they're getting faster.
Yeah. Okay, because like I guess average movie is about 2 hours or so. So yeah, if you can do a 1,000 piece puzzle under 2 hours, that's a nice feat. Would you like to tell us what you're looking forward to in the next few months? What's coming up for the two of you?
Yeah, I suppose we're looking forward to next weekend anyway for the UK Nationals. I'm going to Portugal as well to the competition over there. I'm competing with Alma. She's the child.
Alma Bell, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm competing with her over there. So that's exciting to go somewhere new as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Are you going to the Europeans?
No, the budget is blown.
Yeah.
and then the Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Because there's so many competitions popping up this year. Also with like so many associations having their first like proper nationals this year. Also with like the UK under the new system, and so many countries are having their first or second nationals and different events popping up. So yeah, at some point the budget says no more.
Yeah.
or wait till the Worlds. Yeah, so I'll be at the Worlds. So yeah, I'll see you there. So what was so both of you competed in international teams last year, is that correct?
I didn't shoot it.
Yeah, I was individual, pair, and team. So I was on Jeanette, Don Louise for the Love of Puzzles, and Stein. So the four of us did the international. That was a lot of fun. And then I did the pairs with Stein as well last year. So this year it's Emma and the Irish team. It was the first year I was there. I just did individuals. I was a little bit intimidated or scared. I didn't know anybody either. To do the pairs and teams last year, I got in and I absolutely loved them. And I think that was part of my okay, I want to meet other people in Ireland, get them together, get a team for next year, and we have. Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to next weekend as well.
Great. Yeah, sorry, just noticed that Claudia finished, so well done, Claudia, and her partner, Julia, for finishing the puzzle. Well done. Emma, what was your reason for not you didn't do teams last year at all, or you just hadn't?
No, I just didn't know anyone, so just had to drag my dad along for the pairs, and then didn't know anyone to do the teams with. So it's nice this year. My dad's actually doing the teams with us again, and then Kieran, he does a lot of these EJJs. So it's the four of us. So yeah, should be fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, tell us something nice about Ireland. Why we should visit Ireland?
Oh, Kerry. I'm from Kerry down the south. It's beautiful. Loads of mountains, lakes. Yeah, it's lovely.
That was not a question I thought was going to come.
No.
Well, we don't talk about Ireland much these days. Actually, I did do an Irish puzzle recently. It was called Welcome to Ireland or Greetings from Ireland, and it had 6 images. It's from Falcon.
I did that one as well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, there was the rocks, the rocks that are kind of like honeycomb. What's it called? Giant's Causeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the wonders of the world. I don't know if it's an official wonder, but it definitely is a wonder. Have you been there?
Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah, well worth a visit. There's lots of places around Ireland.
Yeah,
and we're not that far away from the continent either. It's a nice little hop over, and
yeah. I think if we're hosting a competition, it's a great chance for people to come over and do the competition and then see Ireland as well. So it's a good excuse.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would be motivated if there was a competition in Ireland to also do some sightseeing around. Yeah, so on the do you see many puzzles of Ireland? I mean, we see just hundreds of puzzles of London. I don't think I've seen that. I don't remember any puzzles of Dublin or
No. Not really, actually. Yeah. No, probably the Gosling ones again have a lot of scenery, they have the Cliffs of Moher, stuff like that. But yeah, there isn't that many, I don't think.
Yeah.
No. There's a market out there for that, definitely.
Yeah, so you said it was Gosling? Gosling is the brand of Irish puzzles. Yeah, I haven't come across that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice actually. They're lovely puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
And they do 500s and 1000s.
Okay.
Yeah. They do board games as well, not just puzzles.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe if you host a competition, you can use an Irish brand, and then everyone comes home with some Irish puzzles.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any other comments about your experience on the EJJ or with what's happening in the puzzle world? Anything you'd like to share?
No, just we've really enjoyed the EJJs. They're great fun. I suppose,
they were really good. When you're talking for training, I think the only training I did last year for Worlds was EJJs. I think I did all of them coming up to it, and I found that really good. Even just for the nerves of doing a competition and opening and starting, it was a really good way to prepare, because that first time going to Worlds was pretty nerve-wracking. I personally bought my first 5,000 piece puzzle. I've never done anything bigger than 3,000, so I'm trying to get that done this summer maybe.
Yeah, and I suppose I've set up an Irish Jigsaw Club for kids as well. So I had about 30 kids in it, and they're all playing puzzle chess and timing themselves. So if there was an EJJ for kids, I think there'd definitely be a few in Ireland that would take part in that.
Oh wow! Okay, is that you're a teacher? I think I read that somewhere. Okay, so did you organize that for your school?
Yeah, it's after school hours. But yeah, there's a lot of them really interested, and they've gotten so much faster. It's great, actually.
Oh wow, so puzzle club for kids. That's really cool.
That's really cool, yeah.
I know one of our other participants in Germany, I think it was possibly Inetta, or maybe her partner, one of them, one of them is a teacher, and they also organized a puzzle competition for their school kids. So yeah, get them early, get them started. Yeah, but that's amazing. I mean, oh yeah, well, I mean, Alma Bell, she's like the epitome of amazing puzzle kids, and she's super fast. So that sounds really fun. We'll be watching out for you at the Portugal Championships. And yeah, well, thanks so much for joining us today. And yeah, so I think where did you place? I think you were in the top 10.
No, I think
we were around 22nd, I think.
Okay. There were so many fast pairs today.
Yeah.
It was.
I think you're 17, if I count correctly.
Very good.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck for your training for next week's nationals, and we'll be looking for your names on the results. And yeah, hope you get some really lovely puzzles.
Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so we have just over 16 minutes left, and we have 3 pairs still puzzling. So we have Tina and Marisa from the UK. We also have Lena, but I'm not sure where Lena is from.
Yeah, I can see that on your screen. You cannot see Karin and Milena's camera, but I can see it, and they are also still puzzling. They are busy with the trees, so they're reaching the end.
Okay, so
now their camera also cut out for me.
Okay, so
now they're back.
Now it's back again. I wonder if, yeah, and so Belu, so Belu is still on the call, but we don't know if they're puzzling or not. The camera has been off since the beginning. Belu, if you could check your camera. Yeah, but I think we have a really good chance of everyone's going to finish. I'm really hoping for that. Well, we can't see all of Nicoleba's because the pieces are quite far away, but possibly less than 50 pieces.
Yeah.
Similar for Tina and also for Galina. Oh, and Karen Molina as well. So yeah, so I thought while we have the still have some time, let's read some of the comments from the question. So the theme was training, and how does your puzzling schedule look like? We'll just start here. So some people says whenever we have time, others say they don't have a schedule. Someone says they don't train, they only perform. So it sounds like they when they're needed, they turn up and they compete in pairs, but not necessarily training for that. Valentina says we almost never train in pairs, as my boyfriend is pairing with me just to spend time together.
Aww.
And then there's like a heart. On my side, I train 2 to 3 times a week by doing speed puzzles and trying to focus on specific skills like non-dominant hand, identifying details on the box, trying different techniques, and that includes watching videos of Victor. Yeah, so for myself, I used to do about 3 500-piece puzzles per week, but recently I have pushed that up quite a bit. So I'm doing about 5 to 6 at the moment. One of the reasons is because we have so many EJJ competitions, there's quite a backlog of puzzles that I've purchased and need to plan, and also ones that I've already planned for competitions, and I'm trying to get through them. So I am putting a bit of pressure on myself to get through these puzzles a bit quicker, but it has been quite positive. I do notice that, I mean, I'm doing almost twice as many puzzles as I was doing like pre-Worlds, and I do feel like I'm getting a lot faster. So I think definitely just by raising it, like if you do an extra 1 per week or an extra 2 per week, extra 3 per week, if you are training as a serious speed puzzler, it does make a difference, and you do notice those the improvements happening quicker.
Yeah, I mean, I also noticed that you've gotten faster. We used to be like about the same, and the last few months you're definitely faster than me, by quite a bit actually. And it's not like I stopped training, so it's definitely paying off for you. And that's also what I was saying before. It's like obviously the more you train, the better you're gonna get. And maybe if you reach like a point where you think like, no matter how much I train, I'm not getting better, it might be time to switch up the routine a little bit and do a little bit more focused training. Like, who was it who mentioned this, by doing some non-dominant hand training, doing maybe just some flip training, doing just some training to put like edges or borders together, and just kind of train these like isolated things of the puzzle a little bit more. And I think what also can help, what we've talked about today already as well, is to switch up the piece count. And you mentioned before that doing 1,000-piece puzzles, then it seems like the 500-piece puzzles just go so much faster. But I also want to make a case for doing smaller piece counts. So if you want to, just get like a 200-piece puzzle, a 300-piece puzzle, and do it, because you'll like kind of fly through the 200-piece puzzle and it'll be done really fast. And it kind of gives you a feeling of like how these very fast speed puzzlers must feel every time they do a 500-piece puzzle. So you kind of get a feeling for like what it feels like to finish a puzzle fast, what are the things you have to look for, how you can keep moving. And because there's less pieces, you obviously will be faster with a 200-piece puzzle than you are with a 500-piece puzzle. So I think doing those can be really good, like morale boosters in between.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. With smaller puzzles, whether that's a 99-piece puzzle or a 200 or 300, if you do it, especially more than once, you can show yourself that you can move that fast, because you get to know the puzzle, and then you get to know, okay, look, I can actually do 10 pieces per minute or whatever it is, not just 4 pieces per minute, like if you're 6 pieces per minute, if you're averaging that on a 500-piece puzzle, but then to know what it feels like, oh, look how fast my hands are moving and I can remember. And just to know that you are physically possible to do that fast. And then it's just about applying that later to the larger piece puzzles as well. So Astrid and Olivia, they're one of the top pairs, top pairs in Denmark, and also in the final last year. So they said that they practice individually very often, several times a week, but they rarely get to puzzle together. They say, because we have the Danish nationals coming up, we've tried to practice together at least every second week. Now once a week for the last couple of weeks, and then we just do as many puzzles as possible, both 500 and 1,000 pieces, and of varying difficulty. So even if they can't practice as a pair together, just pushing themselves throughout the week with puzzles of different difficulty levels.
Yeah, which I think is also a good idea, because if you're only ever doing puzzles that are easy for you, or that you like a lot, yes, it'll be fun to practice. But then if you enter a competition and you get a puzzle that is not so much your style or things that you're used to, it can throw you off. So it's good to practice all kinds of puzzles, and also to practice puzzles that are very, very difficult. An example for me would be the puzzle that I got at the Worlds 2 years ago, those flowers,
lupines.
Lupins. And I had never practiced a puzzle like that before. I got it in the first round at Worlds, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I didn't manage to finish it. And it really kind of defeated me. And it set a little bit the tone for the Worlds, that I thought like, maybe I'm not as strong of a puzzler as I thought I was. But then in the meantime, I've done it a few times. And obviously now I can do it within the time, and I'm even trying to get it down to about the hour mark, just to kind of prove to myself that like practice makes perfect. And obviously, you do a puzzle more than once, you're going to get to know it a little bit better. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's also one of the puzzles that I really want to do again before Worlds. Bauernhof in Sweden was very similar, that puzzle, with lots of blue pines, lots of flowers in the foreground, and that really threw me. So my pair and I, we didn't manage to do that in the time frame. We weren't doing it in the competition, we were just doing it as training. But that's something that I definitely want to do, those puzzles again before the Worlds. Something that so some pairs actually live together and have the advantage of training. So I wanted to read out, where was that? It was towards the end. Yeah, so Meata and Sebastian live together, and they puzzle 2 to 3 times per week. And Veronica and Noelia, we don't have a fixed schedule of training yet, but we try to make as many puzzles together as possible. We are roommates, so often our afternoons are spent puzzling with a drink and watching a movie or TV. Currently, they're watching Glee Season 3. Although we are probably missing the speed part, we are signed into as many competitions as we can to make up for it. Oh, and they're from Venezuela. But are they living in Venezuela? In Spain. Okay, so Veronica is from Venezuela, but I think, I haven't sent a package to Venezuela, so they're living in Spain. And another one that I marked that I wanted to read out was so Andrea and Irina. So also the US Nationals next week, they're also going to be live streamed. So the Americans are training hard, and Irina said that it's very intense at the moment. She's basically doing a few puzzles every day, and after Nationals it will probably calm down. Yeah, so with the US Nationals, they will have a live stream with Valerie Coit, who is the host of the live stream at the Worlds, and she's going to be joined with several well-known speed puzzling guests, including Jim Eakins from the EJJ, who we're very looking forward to seeing, and also other people like Sarah Schuler, Tammy McLeod, Yvonne Feucht, and some other well-known people. Rob from the Peace Talks podcast. Which will you be watching that next week?
I mean, I'll try to. The time difference is going to make it a little bit difficult. But the ones that I'm going to watch them. I can watch them later on, which is also nice that you can do that. And obviously, next week is also the UK Nationals and the Finnish Nationals. So it's a weekend full of puzzling, and I'll probably be skipping from one stream to the other. There's also an EJJ next Sunday, where am I co-hosting next Sunday? I think so. So it's gonna be, the audiences will have their choice of what to watch. Was it last weekend for the Norwegian? I had the EJJ on the one device. I had the Norwegian Championships on the other one, and I was like kind of looking back and forth. So we're spoiled for choice.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting is that we have the 500-piece pairs puzzle, but there's unlikely to be American, Finnish, British participants. So of course there are a lot of people who will be participating in their nationals and won't be available, but that also takes out a lot of the top puzzlers. So other people have a chance. So who knows? Maybe we see some different people on the podium next week. Maybe we only have, maybe we have 70% Germans in the call, which could be very likely. But a lot of, because normally we have a lot of Finns. Like even today we had like maybe 8 Finnish pairs. We usually have a couple of American pairs, and what's the other one? The British. Oh yeah, we also have a few British pairs. So if they're all busy, we could see different people coming into the top 10. So that will be exciting for those who are able to participate.
I just want to quickly say for the people here, you have 2 minutes about. So I think Karin and Milena, you can do it. Nicole, I think you can also do it. I don't see a lot of pieces left anymore. And Tina and Galina, put in as many pieces as you can. Maybe Tina, you can also do it if you're like really fast now.
Yeah, no, everyone's doing great, and it's so close. Just a handful of pieces left. But yeah, it's interesting. Galina, they're doing different pieces. So one of them is focusing on the light colored area. The other one is focusing on the tree so that they don't get into each other's way. And this is something like before I started speed puzzling, I would have never picked a puzzle like this. Like I would have looked at it and said, no, photo, not so interesting. Of course, it's a nice picture. I would like to go there one day. I'd like to experience that before puzzling. It's just like not interested. And now I'm really glad to have tried that. And photos is definitely something to focus on coming up for anyone who's doing competitions, because it's very likely that there will be a photo puzzle. All right, Karin and Melina, and Nicole has finished, and Nicole's pair is Zoran. Well done, Nicole and Zoran. Karin and Melina.
Good job, everyone, finishing in just under the time. Tina, you can do it.
So
I believe in you. Like 5 more pieces, just get them in there.
Come on. It's always nerve-wracking. It's the time limit counts down. Yay! Come on. Right down. Tina.
You did it. And Belu, you're also
Oh,
finished.
Belu is also done. Tina, did you write done? You got to write it in the chat. Oh,
congratulations.
Okay, so we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Oh, so close. Well done, Galina. So all but one finished in time. And only, what is that, 50 pieces maybe? Yeah, so go ahead and count those leftover pieces. You can easy to put them into groups of 10 and then count them up. All right. So yeah, so we
what
had
are the rules you go by? If they have 3 or more pieces connected, do they count as?
Yeah, so 3 or more pieces count. So there's like a patch of lighter colored pieces that counts as assembled. You can keep those ones. Yeah, you can put those with the main puzzle.
Yeah. Great, everyone did such a good job.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed.
I mean, this is by no means an easy puzzle. You have so many repeating elements. I mean, those trees, those tugi parts, it could go anywhere. I like the bottom half, but the top half is very tricky.
And you'd think it's harder than you think to do these branches. Like you'd think like, oh, you pick out the branches and you like build the tree, but it's tough because they're organic shapes. They're not like straight lines. So it's
and then sometimes you don't know which direction they're going. Like often I had a piece and I was like, because these pieces here, they're facing upwards into the blue, and then you also had some other pieces that were facing down into the blue. over here. Yeah, these ones were hanging down and these ones were sticking up. So well, we're very happy for everyone. And yeah, so everyone but one pair finished in the time limit. So all right, well, thanks everyone. Thanks Catherine for co-hosting today, and yeah, really enjoyed that. And yeah, we'll see each other next Sunday. I feel like we have another one in between, but I can't think of it at the moment. I feel like we have one this week, possibly. Just double check the schedule. Wednesday 2nd of April there will be a solo. Wednesday 2nd of April, and then on Sunday 6th of April is a pairs. So thanks to those who are following us on YouTube, and wish everyone a good Sunday. Bye.
Bye.